What are you doing here?
I thought you deserved more of an explanation.
Hi, Eve.
Hi, Serena. Don't get up, sweetie. I'm coming to you. Sit down. Sit down. How you doing?
Okay. I heard you at the church. Why did you stop listening to Kevin's wedding?
Serena almost died because of what Lucy did. And on top of that, she's been lying about it since the very beginning. So don't look to me to sympathize with your misplaced concern for her.
Monk, your logic is unassailable. However, if Lucy had told you the truth, surely the damage would already have been done. Lucy was afraid of what you would do if you found out, and surely her fear is justified.
I appreciate what you're trying to do, Victor, really. But this isn't a mathematical equation that I need you to solve.
Oh, contraire, mon fils. 2 minus 1 leaves 1. I'm talking about you, son. You have an opportunity for an extraordinary marriage. You mustn't treat that so lightly.
Menage la misère. Victor, your own marital record is less than stellar.
Maybe I shouldn't have come. But this is my home, and I didn't know where else to go.
Isn't it bad luck if one of the couples backs out at the altar?
But back in Felicia's wedding was still beautiful, wasn't it? Although I think it was kind of weird that he proposed to her after the ceremony started.
I don't know. I mean, I think you could really see that Mac and Felicia wanted to spend the rest of their lives together.
Joe Scanlon is a sentimental softie. You know what? Your reputation is safe with me. I won't tell anybody.
You're so good to me. I'll admit that I was surprised how moved I was. I mean, I've never been to a wedding before and actually noticed what happens to everybody else when those two make the commitment. I mean, it was like the whole room seemed to light up.
Not for Kevin and Lucy.
If I lost the person that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with, I would feel like the world was ending.
911 seems to be everyone in town's favorite number tonight. So how was the double wedding? I couldn't even get a minute to come by and have some cake.
Well, I'll let Karen fill you in on the details. I got a surprise for Neil. Excuse me.
So, did the wedding go off without a hitch?
Actually, Kevin and Lucy's wedding was interrupted by Eve, who claimed she had a reason why they shouldn't get married. Apparently, she was right because they never said their vows. And Lucy stayed to be Felicia's maid of honor.
Called off at the altar?
Yeah.
That must have been dramatic.
At least Neil's gonna make out like a bandit. Joe just stole half the dessert table and brought it back for him.
He seems especially close to Neil. Doesn't that bother you?
Why should it?
Well, from what I've seen and heard, Courtney encourages Neil's attachment to Joe in a big way. You know? Add Joe, stir, maybe Courtney's thinking instant family for her kids. I'd watch your back.
I'd be lying if I said that thought never occurred to me. But I asked Joe about it, and he said that Courtney's only interested in his medical opinions about Neil.
For now.
Well, if I ever find Courtney making the moves on Joe, I'll just pound a stake through her heart.
What heart?
There was something very important that I needed to tell Kevin.
Serena, Eve and I have something to talk about, so let's go in your playroom and put your headphones on and you can listen to the rest of Mysterious Island, okay? All right.
Is this grown-up time?
Yeah, something like that. Come on. Okay. Now, remember, let's count it off. What was it? 10 steps? 10, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
All right, Eve. You got 2 minutes, that's all, because that's all I'm leaving her for.
You didn't tell her what Lucy did to my car.
Look, you nailed Lucy on her wedding day. Good for you, Eve. Good for you. I mean, you got the revenge that you wanted. But did you ever stop to think about the consequences of what you did?
I wanted everyone to know the truth.
Well, you did exactly something that Lucy would do. All right? So, my daughter is blind because of this ridiculous, stupid fight the two of you have been having. But did you ever think of what it was going to do to Serena? I mean, she just lost the closest thing she ever had to her mother.
Lucy set me up!
Lucy didn't leave her alone in the car!
Well, doesn't the truth count for anything?
Okay, let me ask you this then. Do you think the truth, is that giving you some sort of vindication for leaving her alone? Is that what this is about?
I never imagined that showing those pictures would make you forgive me.
Okay, so then what are you trying to do? Spread the responsibility around here? Is that what because you've done that. You accomplished that. You did that. So now I blame both you and Lucy.
I am not exactly sure what you're feeling for me at this moment, but I think I might have a small idea.
Excuse me, I think I'm missing the Weather Channel. I'll be in my room. Please, don't do anything you'll regret later.
Mac and Felicia got married. They're husband and wife. It was a lovely ceremony.
You stayed?
I didn't really see the point of ruining my best friend's wedding. Besides, I really think she needed her maid of honor.
Classic Lucy.
That was the Lucy that you wanted to love. For better or for worse, right?
I wanted so badly to say those words. What I feel for you is unlike anything I've ever felt in my life.
You lied to me, Lucy.
Yes, I did. And I'm very, very sorry that I did that. But I would do anything. I know that apology isn't enough, so just tell me what it is. I'll double it. I will triple that.
There's nothing. There's absolutely nothing you can do, Lucy. You cannot take this back. And you can't fix it, and you can't cover it up with another lie. Something we both have to live with now.
Okay, I can accept that. I know I have to face the fact of what I did, and I'm ready to do that, and I'm ready to take responsibility for that.
But you won't do it here. I want you to move out.
You're not going to believe what I have for you. Give me a secret handshake. Okay.
You promised at least one cookie.
One cookie? Neil, let me tell you something. One cookie is for amateurs. One cookie is like one Star Wars movie. And who could just live with that, huh? Pocket. Uh-oh.
I hit the jackpot.
Your mother had any idea how much chocolate I smuggled in here for you, she would have a fit. Take it easy.
Busted. All right, who's responsible for this?
Don't be mad, Mom.
Yeah, Mom, don't be mad.
You're a bad influence on my son, Dr. Scanlon. How is he ever going to learn not to eat chocolate with his nose?
You should have brought more napkins.
I cannot explain to you how sorry I am for hurting Serena. But if Lucy hadn't siphoned the gas out of my car, I wouldn't have been stuck in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, forget about Lucy. How could you leave a 7-year-old kid in some old jalopy on the side of a cliff for crying out loud?
Because We were in the middle of nowhere. I don't know how to explain it. I thought I was doing the right thing. Serena was asleep. I didn't want to wake her up. I did what I thought was best. I only turned my back for a minute.
A minute. You can't leave a kid alone for a minute. You got to be aware of things all the time. You know, I mean, they could drink something from under the sink. They could drown. I mean, you got to know their surroundings at all times.
I know that now. I learned it the hard way.
Well, not as hard as Serena's learning it now.
Whatever else you think about me, you know that I love Serena. And I have loved her from the minute that I met her. That will never change. I'll leave now. Forgive the intrusion.
Wait a minute.
You don't want me to leave. You don't. Because moving out is not the answer to our problems.
Well, it's the only answer I have, Lucy. I can stay at a hotel tonight if you want to start looking for a place tomorrow.
No! No, listen to me. This is crazy. Nobody is going anywhere. Do you remember when you used to counsel people and help them? You would tell them to stick it out. You stay there and hash it out. That's what you would say. We're going to do that. That's what we're going to do. We're going to work through this. We can.
Lucy, are you in complete denial or just not getting it?
I don't think I like those choices.
Are you incapable of giving me a straight answer? A is never followed by B. B's followed by whatever letter of the alphabet happens to suit you at any given time.
But that's me. That's just me. That's all I know how to be. And you love me, and you understand me.
I do now. Finally, I do. Lucy, I begged you to stop scheming. I begged you to stop trying to one-up Eve. And I warned you, Lucy, I warned you not to put Serena in the middle.
I know. And I heard you. I listened to every single word you said.
Except for the fact that you completely disregarded every concern that I had, which is nothing new.
Listen to me, Doc. I know this probably doesn't matter to you right now, but I siphoned that gas before we had that talk about putting Serena in the middle. It was before and after that discussion. I didn't do anything else. I swear I stopped.
Lucy, Serena's wreck was an accident. An accident. It was helped along by mistakes made by you and Eve. But mistakes are forgivable. What I can't understand is how you could look me in the eye and lie about something this important. I asked you point blank to be truthful to me, and you lied.
Doc, what is very important here is that we love each other. We love each other, and if this trust is broken, then we can fix it. We can get this fixed.
No, Lucy, if you think this is fixable, then you don't know what you've done. Let me put it this way. Do you realize that you've probably lost Serena forever? That Scott will not let you back into her life ever again?
No, don't say that. Don't even say that. I don't want to lose another child. You know that this date for us to get married was very important to me. It was the anniversary of when we lost our baby. And I wanted this wedding to erase that and replace that, don't you see? Doc, I really believed that magic would happen, and tonight we would make our own baby again. I'm going to go back.
Hey, how you feeling?
good as I look. Why?
Because this is your first full day off at the L56, and I just want to make sure there's no problems, that's all.
Never been better.
Yeah? Well, you seem a little tense, a little hyper. Listen, Frank, we know for a fact that this drug causes permanent personality changes, even after the drug's flushed out of the system. So I don't want you taking on anything you don't need to. You don't need to prove anything to anybody.
I've never had more energy in my life, so come on, man, stop worrying about me. So I hear you smuggled some contraband into Neil.
I took him so much sugar, that kid's probably bouncing off the walls. Hey, look at this. He drew this for me.
Dr. Joe, superhero. Nice cape.
Thank you.
Yeah, from what I hear, the sun rises and sets on you as far as Neil's concerned.
I know. You know, Frank, I keep thinking if that's what it's like to be a father. For a while there, I actually thought that maybe Neil was my son. But Courtney, she set me straight.
I'm sure she did.
But if I had a son like him...
Oh, don't tell me the party boy's ready to settle down.
Frank, I've been partied since I've been in med school. But Neil has me thinking.
Didn't I tell you about the birds and the bees? You can't just put an order in for the flavor of kid you want. You got to take what comes.
I understand that, but with a terrific kid like Neil, I mean, maybe it depends on the parents.
Not always. Look at Neil. He turned out to be a great kid despite being saddled with that mother. And his father doesn't sound so great either.
Guy has no idea what he is missing, Frank. I'll see you at home, okay? Take care of yourself.
Yeah, see ya.
I know that you didn't mean to hurt Serena. You did what you thought was best.
That almost sounds like forgiveness.
It is. Because I care about you. I got feelings for you. But I don't know if you understand this or not because you're not a parent, but if you were, when somebody hurts your kid, intentionally or not, it makes you really angry and it ties you up in knots. Now, the anger will go away, but you still have these knots inside of you. And I don't have the time to untie these knots, okay? Serena needs all of my time right now. All of it, all of it.
I understand.
Okay.
You know, I always told you that my life was a train wreck. And I really thought things would be different with you.
I wish that they were.
You've always had my heart, Doc, and that is no lie.
What about Sigmund? Can you put aside this grudge you're carrying and then think about that duck for a minute?
Sigmund will survive.
I wish I could say the same.
Marty. I'm going to take him outside. I'm going to take him to the car. And when I get back, I hope the two of you will have come to your senses. Shh. Shh.
Where will you be staying?
The Port Charles Hotel. If you need to reach me.
Let's not make this any more difficult than it already is.
I don't see how it could possibly get any harder.
This is Lisa McCree. Tomorrow, Jack Hanna with some adorable baby animals in the studio. And from Snake Eyes, Gary Sinise. That's tomorrow on Good Morning America.